All-American Trophies for all your screen printing and embroidery needs.
ArtMade, offering custom frames, art supplies, and jewelry.
Buffalo Wings and Rings, a sports restaurant experience located in South Minot.
Badlands Bar and Grill, located on 31st Avenue in Minot. Fiancé, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream, serving the Midwest since 1972.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
Jacobson Music, bringing music to the Northern Plains since 1980.
KYYX, Kicks 97.1, bringing Minot country since 1977.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
The Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
Magic City Hoagies, locally owned sandwich shop located in Southwest Minot.
Spicy Pie, pizza, grinders, beer. The Minot Masonic Lodge, good men working to be better. Taco John's, offering fresh tacos, burritos, nachos, and breakfast. Drive-In Financial, connecting faith and finances.
PMQ Entertainment, performing at weddings, proms, and dances.
The Pursuit, creating a place in Minot where everyone is welcome.
Mouse River Players, community theater since 1971.
H-Bar-B Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Thursday special of the Saturday Showdown. I'm Lane Sarson, and this is going to be an abridged episode where it's going to be me here talking with head coach Mike Aldrich. Thank you for being with us. This is the first one of the season. We're excited to have you back.
Well, I appreciate being here.
Yeah, we're really excited to talk to you. But first things first, let's kind of talk about the matchup today. We're going against the University of Minnesota Duluth. They finished 9-3, 9-2 in conference. We finished 3-8, both in conference and out. What are some of your expectations going into this game?
Well, the first game of the year is always the unknown game. You know, we've had 8 months to prepare for this one game. So we have a lot of new kids that are playing that didn't play for us last year. So there's a lot of expectations, but a lot of unknowns because of it. When we look at the first game, the biggest thing that we try to do is really try to get them to understand the team that makes the fewest mistakes has the best chance to win. And even if they have a better record than we do last year and all those things, it's a new season. Nobody really knows what your team's about yet. Even us, we don't know what our team's about yet. So I think the biggest thing that I'm looking for today, our expectations is, can our guys go out there compete? can they play with the fewest mistakes possible, and can we try to be in it at the fourth quarter?
All right. What are some of the things you kind of do in that 8 months to help them be ready for that fourth quarter pressure?
Well, we have our off-season workouts, and those start right away in January. Those will go January till about the end of March, where it's pretty heavy in the weight room, but we do a lot. We also have skill development that we can do with our guys. We will also do some different team workouts, really more competitive team workouts, a lot of agility type workouts where we're trying to just make them better runners, for lack of a better way to describe it. And then we get into spring football in April, where we have 15 practices there. And then once that's over and finals are done, then it's really how many kids are going to stick around over the summer and work out together, and then it's kind of like the off season all over again, where they're just lifting and running and doing that type of thing.
So you have all these new kids coming in doing this lifting, this running, but a lot of them played both sides of the ball, especially in high school. Do you use some of these workouts to help them find which side of the ball you want them on, offense or defense?
Well, I would say 90% of the time when we recruit somebody, we already know what we're recruiting them for, and they also know what we're recruiting them for. There are a few kids that when we recruit them, we label them as athletes. We're not exactly sure what we're going to do with them yet. So it could have been their high school quarterback, and we recruit him as an athlete because we like a lot of his traits and characteristics, and then by the time he gets here, he might become a defensive back, something like that. But for the most part, we already know what the skill set and the position is that we're recruiting them for.
All right, so talking a little bit about positions, we've got a little bit of a more interesting quarterback situation than we did last season. We had Cunha here. He'd been here for a while, very established. But this year, it's a little bit more up in the air, up for grabs, per se.
Well, it has been. All through spring and all through fall camp, it was up in the air between two of our quarterbacks, Andy Jones, who's a senior, and Ben Belinsky, who's a sophomore. And it's been a tight race the entire time, and nobody's really change that race. We were hoping that what would play out is somebody would pull away, but that didn't happen. So going into this first game, Andy Jones is our starter, but we also have Ben is going to play quite a bit, and they're going to really elongate what fall camp was. And so when we get to the end of the game, we're going to reevaluate, see, did one play better than the other? If so, then we'll start to solidify even more what that position is. But going to the game, Andy Jones is our number one quarterback and is treated so.
Now, is that kind of an advantage for you, though? Because now that you have two quarterbacks that could very well play as your starter, can you use that as an advantage against opposing teams?
I think it could be. I guess in some aspects, they're both pretty similar skill set. I think they each have, they're stronger in different skills. But last year we had Zach Cunha, who was a bigger, stronger arm quarterback, and Andy Jones came in, and he was more of our change-up quarterback, where he was running the football and could do a lot with his legs. Both of our guys now, Andy and Ben, are guys that are threats to run the football. So they're starting to really fit kind of what we want to do offensively going forward. So I don't know if it's an advantage, maybe game one, because Andy played against Duluth last year, but Ben did not. So they haven't seen Ben play yet, and so I think that'll be an advantage when he gets out there, just because they don't know how to treat him quite yet.
All right. So you mentioned Duluth again, so let's just do a quick little talk about them, because as we mentioned earlier, they were kind of like the top of the division. What kind of things are you looking to see your team do? You mentioned competing, but will this help show how good we're going to be this year?
Well, I think, the ideal situation for the first game, especially for us being a young football team, is we want to play the best competition we can play right away. And I don't want to, try to play a lesser competition to see, okay, let's try to build some momentum. I would much rather let's play a good team, and so just so we see where we stack up. How far do we need to go to get to where they're at right now? So for us, I think it's an ideal situation. They're definitely the class of our division. They've always been in the top 3 in our conference for as long as I can remember. So they're a team that their program is what we're striving to get to, not just winning 9 games, going to the postseason, those type of things, but also being able to maintain that and be able to stay at that level for as many years as they have. Where a lot of teams, you might get one good year, and then all of a sudden, you win 8 games, and the next year you might fall back to 4 games or 2 games. And I'd much rather build up so then we can get to the point where we maintain and we have that foundation built.
Mentioning the program, this was your first recruiting class.
Yep.
How did that go overall for you?
I think it went really well. I mean, we signed a lot of kids, probably a lot more than we would typically do, but it was based on 2 reasons. One is we're trying to change the culture of what we want to do philosophically with the team, but then secondly, we graduated 19 seniors, so we lost a lot of guys there. We only have 6 seniors now, so there was only 6 juniors last year. So we needed to be able to infuse bodies and just to rebuild up our team to where we want it to be. So it was kind of a perfect storm as far as that goes. But I think that recruiting-wise, we really hit some home runs that we're excited about. We've got a lot of kids that will play tonight as true freshmen that won't redshirt. It could be good, it could be bad. I think you're going to get some guys that are going to wish maybe they did redshirt when they go against a 25-year-old 300-pound offensive lineman with a full beard. But I think in the long run it's going to pay off for us. And I look at, okay, how are we going to feel opening night 2 years from now? Where now we've got a roster full of guys that have got playing experience, have been through the system and been through the program, and it's all been built up. So it's gonna cause us to play some young guys right now, but our guys aren't intimidated. They're young and when it comes to football, kind of dumb in terms of they don't see UMD as, okay, here's this top dog, we should be intimidated. They're just, hey, we're going to go out and be who we are and play how we want to play. So I think that's really good. That's an advantage.
That is good. Are there any positions and or players that we as fans should be paying attention to in tonight's game?
Well, I think quarterback-wise, obviously, they always stand out to you. And having 2 quarterbacks playing in the game, that's going to be pretty notable between both Andy and Ben. I think we've got a really good wide receiver core. Levante Bushnell is our preseason player to watch.
Okay.
He was pretty lights out for us last year on some big plays. We've got some other young receivers that are going to play a lot. Damon Short was our spring ball offensive most improved player. So, I mean, we're excited to see what he can do in an actual game situation. Defensively, we're replacing 8 starters. So there's a lot of new guys over there that
scary.
that have to step in and do something special. But Keontae Godot is probably our most notable player, our most nationally notable player. He was a national player of the week last year when against St. Cloud he had 3 interceptions, 2 for touchdowns, and should have scored a 3rd, but he took a knee at the 5 because we scored a touchdown against University of Mary in the middle of the season where we should have fallen down just to kill the clock.
Yeah.
So I think Keontae kind of thought the same thing. It was a totally different situation, but so he's one of those guys that'll go out there and he's a threat to steal the ball. He's really good in his coverage skills. He's everything that we want. He's a little bit smaller than maybe what the NFL looks for, but other than that, all his numbers are exactly what you would see in any of the rookies going into the NFL.
Great. Keeping a focus on our players here, one of the things in Division II, especially here at Minot State, that we have student athletes, and we have our Beaver Cup here that happens. Can you talk about that a little bit more for the folks at home?
Yeah, our Beaver Cup is an athletic department initiative where basically each athletic team and program competes against one another, and you get scored on or you gain points by doing different things. So if the football team goes to a basketball game and they post something on social media with them in the stands, and then they do the Beaver Cup hashtag on it, they can get a point that way. Community service and getting a bunch of hours being out in the community. The award we won last year as a team was most school spirit. So that we had the most community service hours. We had over 1,500 hours of community service last year. So the good thing is what it's allowing our kids to do is take pride in being students more than just athletes, and then knowing that because you're a student athlete, that now you have really a responsibility to get to be out into the community, whether it's supporting other athletes, whether it's supporting the community that we live in, whatever it might be, and it's all based on competition, which as athletes, that's really why we play.
All right, so just to wrap things up a little bit here, thank you so much for being out here with us. We really appreciate it. You mentioned UMD, it's a very important game. It's the first game of the season. Are there any other ones on the schedule that we should look out for?
I think in our conference, every game is a big game. I mean, we play next Thursday, we play down at Northern State in Aberdeen, South Dakota. That game will be on Midco for those that get the Mid-Continent cable network. So that's pretty cool because they do that in HD, and it's a pretty cool situation. We had 4 of those games last year, and then we come back home for 2 games in a row against University of Mary and Minnesota Crookston. So I mean, for us, 3 of our first 4 games are at home. The one game that isn't is going to be broadcast live in HD on Midco. So I think the first 4 games are really crucial for us to see how we can grow and how we can really build some momentum. And then game 5, we travel down to Sioux Falls and play University of Sioux Falls, who's picked by I think number 2 in our conference preseason. So that'll be a big test. So if we can gain a little bit of confidence and momentum going into that, to try to give them everything we got, so we can go down swinging one way or the other. And then we also travel to Mankato, who's the number 1 team, not just in our conference, but in the country. Yeah. So that'll be another big test for us. So
lots of big important games all season. So that means we as fans should be tuning in and going to every single one we can.
The more the better. Yeah. And so we'll do our part to try to make sure that the games are as enjoyable as possible.
I appreciate that. Again, thank you so much. That was head coach Mike Aldrich. We're going to pull up a full screen for you guys so you can see the game schedule here that are going to be at home. For us here at the Saturday Showdown, though, we will be going 2.5 hours before all of these kickoff times, so that way we can get coach back out to the field on time for his players. So again, but the one that we're going to look at here is the University of Mary will be the next one. That's going to be Saturday 15th. It's at 3 p.m. game, so it's a little bit later. We'll be going live at 12:30 right here. It'll be 11:30 then on the 22nd there against the University of Minnesota Crookston, and then against Upper Iowa, Wayne State, and St. Cloud will all be going live at 10:30 right here at Minot State on Channel 19. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's get ready for some Beaver football.
All-American Trophies for all your screen printing and embroidery needs.
ArtMain, offering custom frames, art supplies, and jewelry.
Buffalo Wings and Rings, a sports restaurant experience located in South Minot.
Badlands Bar and Grill, located on 31st Avenue in Minot. Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream, serving the Midwest since 1972.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
Jacobson Music, bringing music to the Northern Plains since 1980.
KYYX, Kicks 97.1, bringing Minot country since 1977.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
The Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
Magic City Hoagies, locally owned sandwich shop located in Southwest Minot.
Spicy Pie, pizza, grinders, beer. The Minot Masonic Lodge, good men working to be better. Taco John's, offering fresh tacos, burritos, nachos, and breakfast. Thrive-In Financial, connecting faith and finances.
PMQ Entertainment, performing at weddings, proms, and dances.
The Pursuit, creating a place in Minot where everyone is welcome.
Mouse River Players, community theater since 1971.
H-Bar B Construction, for all your oil field needs.